Welcome back to the channel, everyone. We've been getting some questions lately about different modifications or different changes we've done to the tractors. So I figured we'd do a quick video and just go over what we've changed, modified, added to our tractors. We'll start with the Ford 961 PowerMaster, just because we've done the least changes to this. We discussed in a previous video the wheel weights we added, but really other than that, it came with a couple toolboxes installed. One here on the fender and one down here by the floorboard. Those were on it when I received the tractor, when I purchased it. And really other than that, the only thing that I added, and this is kind of a dumb little thing, but is this cup holder here. All that is a 3-inch Fernco fitting from like a plumbing supply. And I took the top stainless hose clamp and drilled it. And there's another screw just like this one down here. I used that screw to attach the hose clamp where I drilled a hole in it and then have that there. Just a lot of times in the summer, if it's hot out or whatever, I have something to drink with me. So some kind of like large travel mug. This doesn't have any bottom in the cup holder or in the Fernco. You could put something in there, obviously use the other hose clamp and put something in, but most of the travel mugs I have are large enough. They sit in there nice. So like I said, that's kind of a silly one, but that one's been pretty useful. On the Kubota BX2380, we've done a couple small things. Again, I guess we haven't really done any major modifications to really any of our equipment. It all operates and runs very well as is, but we've done some small things. On the BX, I added this port here just to make it easy to plug a battery tender in. I use a battery tender in the winter quite a bit, pretty much all winter. Just the tractors sit a lot, depending on whether we have a lot of snow or something to plow. They might get some use, but other than that, moving some firewood or whatever, but they don't get used a lot. So I've had good luck with battery tenders and the batteries lasting a long time. So that makes it easy to plug that in. An aesthetic type thing is right after I bought the tractor, we put this black edging. It has like an aluminum insert and it's flexible, but you just kind of put it on there's just a flat end to that sheet metal. So I just kind of put that on there. It just kind of dresses it up a little bit and then also protects that edge of the sheet metal. So that's an appearance type thing, just like the way it looked, and it was really cheap. So see the back tires here, that black insert in the center. I don't know if you can see through it. It's tough to tell on the camera, but there's a 2-inch wheel spacer. That's just something, I don't know if we can see from, it's tough to see, but we added 2-inch wheel spacers to the back tires just to add the stability of the tractor. We have some steep areas. Some of the areas we mow are pretty steep. Right in front of the house is steep. So the BX was really stable. The BX was actually very stable prior to the wheel spacers, but with the spacers, it's been excellent. So that's been an addition I've been very happy with. The rear tires on this are not loaded. There's no weight in those, so that would also add to the stability, but I'm trying to, since I basically just use this to mow grass, or that's its main purpose, I've been trying to not add a lot of weight to it. Back on the 3-point hitch, the BXs come standard with just turnbuckle style links or controls for the 3-point arms, and I added these adjustable solid links. They have pins here that you can move in and out and then adjust them that way. It's a lot quicker, a lot more convenient. It gives better control than the turnbuckle links. I purchased these from Messicks. If you're not familiar with Messicks, they're a large Kubota dealer, Eastern PA. But they got together, I believe, with a local shop to have these fabricated. But the package on them is very nice. Welds are nice. Paint, good quality paint on them. I mean, I've been very happy with them. So I can put a link in the description to Messicks, but I purchased these from them, and I've been very happy with those. The last thing on the BX is one area where I think Kubota really cheaped out on these tractors is the fuel filters. They have two very small inline fuel filters. One's here by the engine. I don't know if we can see without opening the hood. It's right there. And then there's one that's underneath the tractor, basically below the operator seat, but on the underside. It's hard to get to. That one is before the pump, and that's the one that seems like it clogs mostly from what I've read. So I removed that filter that's under the seat, ran lines up here to this. This is a Raycor filter. Part number on the filter itself is R1210, or I'm sorry, R12T. It's a 10 micron filter. But so what I did is I didn't want the fuel to go straight from the tank to the pump, just in case there's any debris. So I got new fuel lines and ran the fuel lines out here to this filter and then ran them back to the pump. I left the filter by the engine in place just because this one is going to do 99% of the filtering. I'll change that other one occasionally, but this has been a nice addition. It's easy to access, much better filtration. So I'm real happy with that. As far as other additions or modifications I'd like to do to this tractor, I'd like to add some work lights. I haven't figured out exactly where I want to put them, but probably there's a hole here. So I might add some there, kind of pointing forward and out to the sides a little bit, and then possibly some rear-facing work lights. That's not a huge thing. This doesn't get operated at night very often, but occasionally it does. And some light would be nice, some additional light. And I've thought about adding some weight to the front. I have a couple chunks of steel that are, I believe they're about 90 pounds each. I've thought about adding some weight to the front. Sometimes when I put something on the 3-point hitch, it gets a little light in the front. So I don't know, that's something I might add, but again, that's not high priority, so we'll see. I've kicked around the idea of fabricating up a vertical stack for this, but the way the hood is on this with the side panels connected to it, I don't know of an easy way to do it, so I doubt that'll happen, and that's pretty far down on the list to get to. But we go into the 5240. Right here on the bucket, you can see I have some shackles added. Those mounts, I believe they came from boltonhooks.com. They sell these shackle connection points. They sell hooks. You can buy bolt-on ones like I did, or you can buy weld-on, same thing. This bucket has this heavy plate right here, so that's why I went with the bolt-on. It was easy to just drill a couple holes and get them mounted up. But those have been handy. I've used those for quite a few things. Kind of see, I added some forward-facing work lights here to the ROPS. 2 LEDs, one on each side. I originally had some lights mounted higher on the ROPS up here, but we have some trees right on the edge of our property, and it seemed like branches would catch those and destroy those pretty quick. So I moved, the wiring was already there, so I moved the lights down to where they're at now. They work well. They do a good job of lighting up to the side and also to the front of the tractor. The only downside to them is when you turn around to look backwards, backing up, the light catches you in the eye some. So I might change those at some point, we'll see. Or I might face them a little farther sideways to light up the side a little more, and then add some lights to the front. I haven't found a good place to mount work lights on the front just because of the loader and where it's at, so I'm still working on that. And then sticking with work lights, I've added some rear work lights. I added these right after we got the tractor. LEDs were not as popular, a lot more expensive, so those are just halogens. But I have them tucked right under the fenders, inboard of the tires. And those have worked well. I will eventually swap those out for some LEDs, just get a little brighter light and a little less amp draw, but those have worked really well. I've been happy with those. I mounted the switches for those here on the left of the operator platform, if I can get the camera in here. Right by the range selector and the cruise control lever, just two switches there. Did add a 12-volt outlet. Again, this is on the left side. It's just there was actually a hole there in the operator platform worked perfectly. So use that to charge your phone or whatever. One thing I added that I don't have installed right now, I already took it off. I just put it on for winter. If you see these two wires sticking out right here, two connectors on them. I purchased a seat heater element. It's a two-piece, has one piece for the bottom of the seat and one piece for the back. And then my wife, she sewed up like a quilted material, but basically a seat cover. And then we attached the seat heating elements to that. So in the winter, I slide that seat cover over the seat, plug those two wires in, and then the switch is up here on the dash. See if I can get in here if you see it. Just to the left of the hazard light, you see the small button there, a little rocker switch. Gives you a high and a low. And that's been pretty nice. We didn't get enough snow this year to use it much, but cold winters when you're out plowing, it's nice to have the heated seat. So that's just a little creature comfort really it's been nice to have. On this tractor, I do want to wire up a battery tender port just like I have on the BX. Right now, I just have the wire kind of stuck out here between where the hood meets up to the side panels. And that works. Just, it'd be nice to get it mounted up, run a wire back here to maybe to the left of the steering wheel and mount it on this plastic cowling or something back this way. So that is something that I'll get done. I think I mentioned in a previous video, I would like to put a vertical exhaust on this tractor. I'm trying to find where to put it. I really don't want to cut the hood. I might make a small cut in this side panel here to run an exhaust out, but that's something I really want to do. It's not a priority, so it seems like it gets pushed to the end of the list. But I just, anybody that has one of these tractors knows, you can see all the soot there on the loader arm. Seems like you just get a lot of exhaust smell, and I'm just not a fan of that low exit exhaust in the front there. The other thing I'd like to do to this tractor is adjust the ignition timing on it. It is an interim tier 4 machine, so it doesn't have any of the exhaust after treatment, but they do have the timing retarded quite a bit for emission purposes. I don't think we can see the sticker on the valve cover, but no, not really. But the timing on this is set at 10.25 degrees, which I'd have to go back and look, but if you look at the 30 series machines previous to this, like a 5030 is the same as this machine, just the older model, same engine. I believe the timing on that engine was set at about 17 degrees. So about 6 3/4 degree advance from this. And the BX I have is set at 19 degrees. So I would like to bump this timing up. And if you've seen other videos where I've started this tractor, it sputters and smokes quite a bit when it's cold for 5-10 seconds, depending on how cold it is, and then evens out. And the timing change would smooth that out to where it would just start up smoothly without the smoking and sputtering. That's how my BX starts. And then, like I mentioned, like the 5030, the previous model of this, that's how that machine starts up. So there's some YouTube videos out there. People have done it. It's not complicated. It's just, I don't know if you can see, it's hard to see from here. Your injection pump is right in here. And there's some shims under the injection pump where it mounts to the engine. And that's what controls your timing, is those shims. So at some point here, I'm gonna buy a shim kit, and we'll raise that injection pump off, change the shims out. I'll verify ahead of time what the timing was on like a 5030 model, but I believe it was around 17 degrees. So I'd like to do that at some point. Not looking for more performance out of it, just getting the engine back to how it ran previous to that interim tier 4 change. Okay, that's just a quick rundown of some of the changes we've made or some of the changes we would like to make in the future to our tractors. If you guys have any questions or on anything that's been done or that we're planning on doing, drop a comment below. I'll answer that. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit the like, the subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next one.